Hello folks, it's JC with the Dip Shop back again. We finished this test on this fender. I have to say a couple things. Plastidip matte is, in my book, now considered flat. The matte raail air wrap definitely has a sheen to it. I'm going to show you the examples. It did flow out better. Don't know how to quite explain it. The texture doesn't shine as much on the plastidip. The raail has more of a satin sheen to it. To be quite honest with you, it looks pretty good. Excuse me. Also, the feel. You can not only when you rub your hand across it, not only can you feel the difference, you can hear the difference. I'm going to point to the fender and show you the difference, and you'll be able to hear it, I believe. Also, when I peeled it, I let this sit overnight, and when I got ready to peel everything off, I actually peeled both sides after they were completely dry. Now with plastidip, you can't get a clean edge when you peel it when it's dry, because it will bridge to the masking surface, which is whatever it might be, tape, plastic, whatever, however you've messed it off. You must do it when it's wet in order to get a nice, clean, firm edge. Some places on the raail, I could tell it was trying to hang up a little bit, but when I removed 90% of the tape on the left-hand side, it actually peeled off clean, which was kind of impressive. I'm going to turn the camera around here and show you the fender, both sides of it, and we'll compare it with the light. Now, you can't really see the light on the matte finish of the plastidip really well, but it's going to be an obvious night and day difference. You're going to be able to see the lights in the background. You may not be able to see the light bulb itself, but you'll be able to see the sheen of it. So when I rub here, you can hear how smooth it is. And you can actually see the sheen in it. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. I tell you what, let me grab a flashlight and we'll do it that way. All right, this is just a typical run-of-the-mill flashlight. It's nothing special. When I shine the light over the fender, you know what, that's not really helping. Can you see? There's still orange peel there, but it's not, I think it's more pronounced. Even though it's smoother, I think it's more pronounced than the orange peel on the plastidip side because there's no sheen. If you hear this, okay, you can hear the difference there. There is a bit more of a textury feel, even though it's as smooth as it can possibly get. You can feel that rubbery grip that you get with plastidip. Over here, this side, can you hear the difference? It's so much, the finish of it is so much smoother. And this is just matte black. It's nothing special, nothing's been added, nothing like that. And I don't know if you can see it, but this edge right here, see how clean this is for the most part? I mean, granted, there's some hiccups here. I wasn't trying to be special with it because I haven't done the other side. But when I took the tape off, you can see where the plastidip actually started to peel the fender. I'll show you an example of what I mean right here. Watch the raail, the left side right there. You can watch it peel, and it peels damn near clean. Now watch the plastidip side. Look at it pulling, and you see now you got a rough edge there. Now if this was on a customer's car, you'd have to add pinstripes or something to this to get it to hide, or I guess lay it down. But once you put a dip dissolver on that to try to get it to lay down, you're going to smear it and you're going to ruin the finish anyway. That's why I say plastidip has the masking for the plastidip has to be ripped off while it's wet. But however, with the raail, and see, you're going to see it here again, that would destroy our job. We'd have to redo the whole panel, and nobody wants to have to redo it. You know, do it once, do it right, get it done. The rail actually sprayed out a lot thinner. It seemed to be a lot thinner, but I couldn't actually tell that big of a difference as far as actually messing with the product in your hand. The smell's different. The touch is unbelievably different. I mean, it's night and day. So what I want to do now, now that you see the difference between the rail and you see there's no, you can get a light there, but that's about it. On this side, I mean, you've actually got it shines. You know, you've got a satin appearance here. And the closer you get to the edge, there's a comparison. I'm not going to make any personal yays or nays or whatever. I like the satin look of the rail. We've been doing plastidip for so long, you know, it's been the norm. But it's, you know, if you're wanting a satin sheen, you know, with this smoothness, that's the way to go. It looks great. I mean, you can actually see everything. Now, the important part here, what we're going to do now is I'm going to lay this fender down and we're going to actually do the peel test and see which one peels better. Is it going to be the 5 coats of rail or is it going to be the 5 coats of plastidip? So, to me, honestly, right now, from the looks of it, because it's got this dirty edge when I peel the tape up, it looks to me like it's tougher. It looks like the plastidip is tougher. I tell you what, before we peel it, I'm going to grab a key. I'm going to grab a paint can opener. Or I'll just use this nice pair of needle nose or tweezers. What we'll do is I'm actually going to key both sides of this, okay, so you can see. All right, it left a mark. Now if we go over here to the plastidip and do the same thing, I'm going to use the same size, the same edge. Okay, it left a mark too. All right. Now, before we peel it, let's do this. You can barely see the mark that it left. I don't know if the camera will even pick it up. There, maybe that's better. Okay, with that being said, let's see what happens when we go over this with wax. You can see the mark there, I'm sure of it. There's a mark all the way across there. All right, so let's do this. Let's throw some wax on this, and once we get the wax on there, we'll see if, number one, either one of the scratches repairs or hides any better. And then we'll wax a small area that hasn't been touched yet, and we'll go back over it with the same tweezers and scratch that area and see what the difference is there. Also, once we do that test, I'd like to take the wax, and when I put the wax on, I'm actually going to I'll find something so that we can actually do a touch comparison and a visual comparison of what the wax does to both the plastidip and the rail product. We are not getting any kind of endorsements out of this at all, okay? We're not speaking for either company. We're not spokespersons for anybody. We're dippers. We have been for 3 years now, and we've gotten pretty good at what we do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wax a spot on both sides. And this is the wax that I'm using. Not everybody has to use this. You can use your own. We just found really good results with it. The plastidip side, you know, the funny part about this is the plastidip side, when I wax this, it's going to change the feel. Not only is it going to change the appearance, but it's going to change the feel of it. And I'll show you what I mean. It's going to harden the plastidip up, the surface itself. So you can obviously tell as soon as it's waxed, it's going to protect better. And we like to wax cars before they leave the shop. That way they're protected, you know, like white's hard to clean, that kind of thing. We like to wax everything before it leaves. That way it stays protected from the elements, but that doesn't negate the fact that you've got to take care of the plastidip or the rail. Either one, you got to take care of it. It's kind of like clear coat. If you don't wax it, you're going to wind up ruining it. Or the UV rays or something will get it. Now granted, this is just a one-day thing. This has not been out in the sun. We don't know about fading or anything like that. So, but what I'm going to do is go ahead. I'm going to apply a little bit of wax to this terry cloth that I've got here. And Don't spray this stuff directly on the plastidip. It's not necessary. If you put a little bit on there, we're just going to wipe it in. Now, granted, there are areas that you saw me take the wax over part of the fender that I didn't hit with the tweezers. I want to wax this and actually get a couple spots on it after it's all waxed and we get it all done, and then we'll see the comparison. Now, you can see now where I've waxed it, you can see the texture. Granted, you got to look through the swirls, but now you can see the texture in it. And the texture's not visibly as apparent as it could be because I'm wiping the wax back off. So we're going back to that matte finish. Well, I'm calling it flat now. All right, I can instantly tell the difference between unwaxed and waxed plastidip. Do not wax with a paste wax, you'll destroy it. The wax particles will get caught in the plastidip itself. You won't be able to get them out of there. I'm looking for the key marks. Okay, I do faintly see the key mark. All right, now notice it didn't go through. That's the good thing about plastidip. For one, you can key it and take it through out in the woods or whatever you want to, and you're not going to hurt it. And now you can see I'm taking my fingernails and going across it. What a dramatic difference after you wax it. Okay, so back over here on this side where we got these three marks on here that I can see via the light. I'm going to do the exact same thing. We're going to wax it. Go over the whole thing. Wow, it's just a difference in the texture, a difference in the way it feels. It feels more like an automotive finish. It really does. It's harder, it's smoother. As far as durability, sorry about that, I dropped the camera. I lowered it. As far as durability, out in the elements, I'm not sure. Like I said, it's the first time we've used it. But so far, I am kind of impressed, to be quite honest with you. Okay, so we've gotten all of the wax rubbed into it. All right, now it's, we've kind of buffed it out for a hand job anyway, you know what I mean? So, all right, I can still see the marks. Still see the marks. You're going to see the marks, I think, more evident on something that's got more of a sheen to it than you will over here on the plastidip, which I'm having a hard time. There they are. I'm having a hard time seeing the scratch marks there. So now that it's waxed, let me find my tweezers here. Now that it's waxed, let's go back and we're actually going to key it again. Wow. Okay. I don't know if you can see the marks or not. You know, and I'm not using real hard pressure, but I'm using pressure hard enough to leave a mark all over this clear coat on this fender. I'm leaving marks all over it. And you know what happens with clear coat when you scratch it? It's got to be buffed out or it's got to be repaired. This seems to be holding up pretty well to this pair of tweezers I've got. So, that being said, let's do the same thing over here. The scratches are not as apparent, and I think the reason the scratches are not as apparent is because there's not as much of a shine on the fender. Okay, so I'm going to lay the fender down, and I don't know how I'm going to do this while I'm holding the phone. I'm going to peel this fender on both sides. Peel one side, and then we'll peel the other side. Wow, can you see the difference in the shade of black? And they've both been waxed. You watched it do that. Just a major, even the sheen difference. Look at that. Wow. And if we turn around and look at the plastidip, that's true. I'd say that's matte. This is more of a satin. Wow, what a finish. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to go ahead and peel one edge of this. The peel test. And this is the raail product. Still has the same elasticity to it, so it does peels pretty easy. But obviously it wouldn't come off if I didn't peel it. It doesn't just fall off your car, that's for sure. It seems to peel in quite nicely. So we're gonna go ahead and peel the whole thing. Tell you what, we'll stop there because I have some customers coming in. They might be interested in seeing the difference between the two products. So I'll tell you what, we'll stop right there. But it does seem to peel okay. It's not leaving any kind of damage behind. Not at all. Which is a good thing because that's what we're all about, right? Okay, now we're going to peel the plastidip side. The plastidip seems to, well, get around that hole. Hang on a second. It seems to have more holding power when peeling. It's coming off more in one single piece. It's not popping apart like the other side did. It's staying together it is staying together so much better without coming off in pieces. It's almost like the rail is a little thinner once it's dry than the plastidip. And you can see there how strong it is. It's picking the fender up off the ground. I've got it by one hand. It's not going anywhere. Alright, not only that, well, I can't show you because I gotta hold the camera. The elasticity on this stuff is just ridiculous. It's like a huge rubber band. Okay, so we've peeled both sides. Being a dipper for over 3 years now, I have to say that the plastidip, it's probably, when it comes to peeling it off, it seems to hold itself together molecularly, not popping apart and tearing quite like this side did, like that. So I'd have to say that plastidip holds stronger, but at the same time, the finish that you get with the rail is there is no comparison. It's the finish is crazy. This is definitely a matte now. That's more of a satin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna peel it to there. I'm gonna go back and cut this off. Yes, I'm hurting this fender, but it will be okay. All right. Let's see if she peels off and clean. There we go. Just like that. Now I've got a test piece to show customers on the difference. Now another test that I'm going to do is I want to see how the Pearlizer top coat, the new line from Dip Your Car, goes over both of these products. So I might as well go ahead and cut this one off too. Alright, now we'll see if we can get this to tear clean like the plastidip did. Looky there, it did. Of course, I had a sharp razor knife too. So, alright, there's your comparison on both the products: waxed, keyed, waxed over, and peeled. The rail is, the finish of it is superior to, the actual finish itself is superior to the plastidip when it comes to smoothness. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of more of a texture there, but now